Hey, what's happening, you guys? DWill here from Sweetwater, and today I am super excited, man. We have a new product that I'm getting to try out from Cranborne Audio called the Carnaby 500 Series Harmonic EQ. This thing is revolutionary and it is different. There's nothing else out like it on the market. So what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna A and B some different sounds and run it through the 500 series just to see how it sounds and see exactly what it's doing with the EQ and how it's reacting to different sounds. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. All right, so as you can see, I got an instance of Cubase pulled up here on the screen and I got everything already routed. But before we get started, let's talk about what is harmonic EQ, because this is revolutionary. This is the first of its kind, and Cranborne Audio has delivered a new dope product. So harmonic EQ, well, first off, the Carnaby 500 series is a 3-band parametric EQ, just like any regular 3-band parametric EQ. Got your highs, lows, and mids. You can cut frequencies and boost frequencies as you would any EQ. But what makes this one different is that it not only cuts frequencies, but it adds harmonic saturation even if you cut those frequencies. So it's adding some type of characteristics to your sound source and giving it a harmonic distortion that is pleasing to the ear. So like I said, the Carnaby 500 series is revolutionary, and we're just gonna dive in and take a listen and just see what it's doing. And I can sit here and talk about it all day, but once you hear it, it's gonna change probably the way that you think about harmonic EQ. All right, so the Carnaby 500 series here is, like I said, it is a 3-band parametric EQ. What's super cool about this, I got this running as a stereo pair, but Cranborne Audio has created a new technology. Not only have they created a harmonic EQ, but they also created a new optical LED technology that allows me to sync both of these up in a stereo pair wirelessly. So I don't need to plug in any wires or do anything to the chassis here. It automatically syncs them up with this optical button right here. So I have that set to the master, and this is my slave. Now that in itself is super cool because you can utilize that feature in any chassis, and if you have a multiple ones, like I have a few over here, then it'll automatically sync with any one that you have in the actual chain. So you don't need to have any cables or anything like that. So that's unique to this specific 500 series, this Carnaby 500 series. So at the top here we have our input, and then we have our highs, our mids, and our lows. You can cut 10 dB plus or minus. And then down here, we have our output knob. So our output knob just pretty much determines how much we're putting out, or if we want to compensate for the input, we can turn down the output. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my input all the way up because I want to be able to hear exactly what it's doing, because the purpose of this video is to see what harmonic equalization is. So let's go ahead and do that. Boop, and I'm gonna turn the output down. Why? Because I'm kind of compensating. It's a give and take. If I drive it, if I push it, then I need to turn that output down so it won't distort, or, well, not distort, but it won't clip and mess up my signal. So, all right, so now let's go back over here to Cubase. And I have a drum break here. I'm gonna solo this, and I set up Cubase super duper cool. So inside of Cubase, I have the ability to, whatever audio interfaces you're using, you can send out of your audio interface, send audio out of your audio interface into the chassis, this 500, this Cranborne Audio chassis. I can send it out of here back into Cubase, and then create an external effect plugin and apply that to any insert here on Cubase. So let me show you guys really quick how I set that up. If you're a Cubase user, then this can be helpful. If not, then you're gonna have to kind of look at another DAW and just look it up how to do it inside of your DAW, how to add external effects. So I just come right over here to my audio connections, and you see I'm already inside of external effects. So to set that up, you would just add external effect. It is a stereo external effect. You need to send and return configuration. So that's what I did there. Now I'm gonna come down here, and you have your sends. I have my send bus going out of 3 and 4 of my Motu 6 audio interface, my M6 audio interface, and then I got it returning back in to channels 5 and 6. So that created that loop. Now, what's super cool about Cubase is that once I load it up as a plugin, whenever you're routing audio out into external hardware back into your DAW or into your audio interface, then there's going to be some type of delay. Now, Cubase has this feature where I can actually measure that delay. And then you saw here on the Cranborne audio chassis in the Carnaby 500 series that it actually lit up. So I'm gonna do it again so you guys can see. So it lit up, letting me know that it's sending a signal to the 500 series back into Cubase and saying, okay, now I have the delay compensation and everything is going to be in real time. So we will not hear any delay. We're going to hear exactly what this piece of hardware is doing to our signal. So let me go ahead and zero this out really quick, and then we're going to A/B some of these sounds and just mess around with it. And I'm going to be a little bit drastic in my approach because I really want us to hear the sounds and see exactly what it's doing. So there's no rhyme or reason why I'm doing it. So don't kill me in the comment section and say, yo, he's doing all kind of crazy stuff. I'm doing that intentionally. So, all right. So let's go over here and let's play this drum break and see what it sounds like without it. I can actually mute this plugin. Let's go ahead and add it back so you can hear just a clean drum break, nothing too crazy going on. Now let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on up and boop. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna add some lows to it and let's play it. Even if I cut the lows, boop. Let me go back over here. It's still adding some harmonic characterization to it. So let's go back and bring this up. You hear that? When I cut it, you still can hear that saturation on the low end. So they're still adding some of those, that harmonic saturation on the low end, even though I'm cutting those frequencies. So let me come over here and I'm gonna actually boost it and we're gonna see what we have going on. So that's without, and this is with it. All right, so this is without. I added a little bit of high end just to give it some well, not presence, but give it a little bit of air. And let's see what that sounds like. You can hear that it's adding just a little bit of air on that top end. Let me play it without. And I took some of the lows out as well. So let me play it without. All right, so let's A/B this really quick and see what we got. That's without. Doesn't sound bad at all. So I like what it's doing. It's really adding some different characteristics to my drums. So that's what it sounds like on drums. Now let's go ahead and zero all of this out really quick. All right, and let's try to add this to a different source. Let's pull up a different sound source here. I want to see what this thing sounds like on vocals. So I got a rap vocal here. Let's listen to our sound source with nothing on it.
You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant.
So nothing too crazy going on. A really clean rap vocal that I got from Splice. Now let's go ahead and turn this output up and boost this input and see what we got going on just with those two done.
You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. You don't want this. From where I'm from, then the change stay constant. Me and other monsters, bonkers, mobsters, stompers, conscious conkers. Man, it's hard like that. Big bouncer man, he got barred.
So you can hear that it's just adding a totally different characteristics for that vocal. The vocal sounded flat, didn't have any life to it, and just adding a few cuts in, well, not a few cuts, a few boosts. I didn't cut anything, but it really gave that vocal presence, and that low end started to beef it up, and just that nice smooth air on the top end. So right now, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really liking the Carnaby 500. This thing sounds really good, and I think it'll be really useful when trying to craft vocals and create a unique sound. It just adds something unique to the vocals, even if I cut or boost frequency, and I really like that. So let's move on to our next signal here, or sound source here. Let's pull up a electric guitar. I want to see what it sounds like on electric. No, you know what? Let's pull up a bass. I want to see what it sounds like on a bass. So I got an 808 here from Splice, and let's just play this really quick and see what we working with without the Carnaby 500 playing. Well, without it running through there. You know what? Let's go ahead and loop this. Boop. All right, so now I got the 808 loaded up, and let's go ahead and enable the Carnaby 500. Yo, so you can hear that 808, and I didn't do anything with any top end or anything like that. All I did was just boost the low frequencies and just scan those frequencies from 20 hertz to 420, from 20 hertz to 420, and you can hear the 808 just take on a totally different. That bass started to growl there at the end. So let me go ahead and play that one more time. Man, that sounds so good. So if you get the Carnaby 500 and you're a hip hop producer, somebody that like to make trap music, try that technique. Try to have that low frequency band, or have that low frequency turned all the way up, and just sweep that band just so you can get it right where you want it to. Then you could dial it back to saturation or dial back the boost however you see fit. But I like that. That sounds really good. This is without it. And this is with it. Sounds really, really good. And I can foresee the Carnaby 500 being a really dope tool for hip hop producers that's trying to sound design or craft their 808s just to give it just a different element or different sound or texture. This can be really, really good for that. All right, you guys, so that is pretty much it. That is the Carnaby 500 series harmonic EQ. Something new, something revolutionary from Cranborne Audio. I think it sounds amazing. If you guys like this video, to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and go over to sweetwater.com and check out some music gear, especially if you want to grab the Cranborne Audio Carnaby 500 series. You can definitely get it there. And don't forget to start at Sweetwater for all your music instruments and pro audio needs. Until next time, stay creative.